I know I can't be the only one that thought today was an absolute waste when it comes down to market performance. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky here with TQQQ Solutions. I really hope that you learned something new. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing to the YouTube channel, as I would love to keep you up to date with overall market updates. I also do want to invite you to my live trading session tomorrow. And if you want to learn more about that, it's the second link in the description down below. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen so you can see exactly what it is that we're looking at. But other than the last 15 minutes from the market close that led to a nice little rip up for the NASDAQ market, if we look at the general performance of NASDAQ today, this is QQQ, which is a NASDAQ ETF 1-for-1. All the consolidation we got, the rip up, the rip down, all the consolidation, and then again, the consolidation right before close that led to the rip up. We traded within that range of 360. But I think it's very interesting that if you pay attention to the NASDAQ future, we're literally struggling to hold above 15,000. And that is going to be, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, the deciding factor if NASDAQ market actually begins to recover from that recent pullback that we've experienced, or if this is just a lower high that might lead to more selling pressure. A lot of you guys might have heard that, again, over the weekend, there was the kind of fear of the government shutting down, right? They led to that extension that we talked about earlier today, that again, this bill was passed that will lead to an extension until mid-November. So again, just another extension to give the government more time to decide to come up with proper legislation. With that being said, as of right now, I mean, it's very, very simple. There's no reason to overcomplicate what's going on right now. The market doesn't know what it's going to be doing. It continues to test and challenge this general resistance range at 15,000. If we look at QQQ and look at the 4-hour time frame, right? I've been waiting for the market to recover. I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. I want to remind you that patterns tend to repeat themselves. They do not always have to. And you can see that we tested previous support range and we are retesting it once again. So yes, there is potential for a potential recovery back to previous highs. What's going on, Remy? Yeah, can he go with mama? Sorry about that, guys. But as of right now, we're consolidating that potential support range, working towards getting back to that previous resistance range right around 380. One of the things that I want to remind you is that, again, I mean, obviously we would love to see the market begin to recover, but we can't be surprised if we get rejected here, if the NASDAQ market never breaks above 15,000, which leads to a potential lower high, and then we end up selling back off down to 350. So if you're asking me the question, because I know I've been getting this a lot in the comments section, and I'm sure my overall viewers just want to know, what am I waiting for to enter and to feel comfortable entering my swing trade? Because I have not opened it yet, right? I've been waiting for the market to recover, but to me, this is not confirmation because there is no continuous progress. We broke above EMA, but there's no confirmation or progress above EMA. So that's essentially what I would be looking for. I want to see, just like we've seen before, not only do we break above EMA, but sometimes it does take a little bit more time, but I want to see indication of progress showing me that I'm missing out by not having an open position in TQQQ. Does that make sense? Because if not, imagine buying TQQQ right now. There's no progress, and then it just ends up selling off. That's what I want to avoid, and that is the importance, again, of my why I would choose to wait for confirmation. I want to remind you that just because I choose to wait for confirmation doesn't mean that you need to. You can choose to enter early, or you can choose to not enter at all. The idea is I want to be calculated with the way that I choose to trade in the month of October and making sure that I don't put myself in a hopeful position that I end up later regretting when all I needed to do was simply wait for confirmation. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one that sometimes buys too early and then regrets it shortly after it was never confirmed. So again, we're not here to pretend to be perfect. We're here to just learn from our mistakes and try to implement signs of progress with our future trades. And that's exactly what I plan to do. I do intend to potentially enter a swing trade on TQQQ, but I want to see signs of progress above the EMA, showing signs of higher highs and higher lows. If we don't get that progress and it begins to get rejected, then again, although I want to go long, I'll go short and I'll make money as the market sells off. I simply want direction to be clear. So if you find yourself struggling to identify which way the market's going to go, if it's bullish, if it's bearish, whatever the case might be, please remind yourself you don't need to trade every day, and you don't need to trade when conditions are not favorable. Ignore the noise, ignore the hype, ignore the FOMO. Much easier said than done, but remind yourself you are here to focus on you getting better and what makes sense to you. Ignore everything else. Other than that, I just want to make sure that you're aware of the economic report that's going to be released tomorrow, and that's the JOLT, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is job openings. If you're part of my LPP team and you watch me trade live tomorrow right at market open, then again, have no fear. We will be covering that live during that live trading session, and I would love to see you there. That's going to be that second link in the description down below if you want to be able to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. So I hope that this gives you a better understanding of what I'm choosing to wait for to enter my swing trade on TQQQ if we get that confirmation. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Other than that, I hope that it earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.